Hello, today is September 8th, 2022, and it's time for some new stock picks. As always, I'll review the performance of my picks from this time last year and proceed with some new ideas. So this time last year, I picked BCE, Bell Canada Enterprises. That was down 0.3%, including dividends. Toronto Dominion Bank, which was actually up 7.2%, including dividends. And Magna International, which was down 24.5%. And that compares with the MSCI World as represented by the XWD ETF, which was down 11.3%, including dividends. Now, going forward, it's been a year where, again, central banks have dominated the investment arena, as they have, I guess, for my entire professional career, by raising rates and talking about reducing monetary stimulus, or even doing quantitative tightening, as they call it, which essentially means selling assets that they have on their balance sheet, such as bonds, and reducing the money supply to fight inflation that they first created in 2020 in response to COVID. The result has been fairly immediate in terms of reduced asset prices, not so impactful with inflation right away. That will take a few more months or a year or longer, perhaps. Inflation is a little bit tricky, but asset prices have already declined. Stocks are down and real estate is down. For example, I'm looking at the suburbs of Toronto and Vancouver. If we take, for example, Coquitlam, the median house price earlier this year in January was 1.94 million. And now it's down to 1.55 million, which is down about 20%. Surrey, 1.9 million in January, 1.43 million now, down 24.7%. And on Toronto, even worse, with Oakville median house price being 2.4 million in January and 1.69 at the end of August, for a price drop of 29.9%. It's not totally surprising. In fact, it's not at all surprising, because interest rates, such as mortgage rates, have gone up tremendously. I'm looking at one area to look at. It's Tangerine Bank publishes their historical rates, so it's easy to see what rates they were offering a year ago. And for example, their variable rate a year ago was as little as 1.35%, and today is 5.15%. Another popular mortgage rate at term for Canadians is the 5-year closed, which was 1.74% last year, and now it's 5.29%. So big increases in interest rates and decreases in asset prices. Earlier this year, in April or May, in my video then, I said don't fight the Fed, and they're not done with raising rates yet, so we got to be cautious. But it's getting to a point where perhaps they will consider pivoting and we need to be positioned appropriately for that. And by that I mean being in stocks that probably have declined the most, so they can take advantage of any reversing of central bank action, but not be too early. So a little bit complicated, but we're trying to do our best here. So the criteria for this month's picks are going to be good quality stocks, ideally larger cap, dividend paying, but also very good value, and the stock prices have declined substantially over the last year. First one is going to be a somewhat recession-proof stock, Smith & Wesson, the firearms manufacturer. The stock is down 38% roughly in the last year. So the chance of a reversal is good, I think, because the balance sheet is good and the earnings statement is good. Just the valuation is better now, and at some point it will come back. So that's pick number one. Now, of course, not everybody wants to own firearm companies or defense companies and is comfortable making money from the sale of such products. And if that's the case for you, we totally support that. And that would be just fine. The next stock would be Walgreens Boots Alliance, one of the largest drug chains in the world, with Walgreens in the US and Boots in the UK. Now they sell other things in the stores other than drugs and over-the-counter and prescriptions and so on, but altogether solid company, solid balance sheet, good profitability, somewhat recession resistant, and good dividend. So, and the stock has been hit fairly hard, down about 29% over the last year. So again, we have a chance of a good recovery, possibly. Now, the third one is going to be a little bit more ready for offense, if you will. Where we're going to try to make a little bit of money, but it's one that's been out of favor of investors for quite some time. A semiconductor company, Intel, the chip manufacturer, largest in the world. The stock is down 43% over the last year, but the valuation is now very, very good. And whether the Fed pivots next month or 3 months from now or 6 months from now, I think we still have a chance to make a decent return over the next year and beyond, because we're buying a good company at a good price, and that's always a good thing. And if it doesn't go well for the next month or two, so be it. If you'd like a second opinion, an opinion whether these stocks fit in your portfolio, or any opinion on any other stock for that matter, please give us a call. Thank you, and have a great day.